G'day guys, Wendell Sailor here. Welcome to Big Dell's tips for round 3. I know last week it was fun, but this week we're going to go even better. Congratulations to all the guys on the leaderboard on the free comp. I might not be there yet, but let me tell you, Big Dell will be coming. Wow, this is going to be an absolute cracking game. The Penrith Panthers versus the Melbourne Storm. We just saw what the Storm did to the Panthers in the grand final. And you know what people say, can you sort of, looking forward to sort of making up for that. You can't make up for it. The grand final's gone. 2020 premiers are Storm. Penrith set the standard all year. I think they lost 2 games, and then obviously the grand final, which is 3. But this is gonna be a tough game for both teams because there's 2 absolute superstars out of this game. Nathan Cleary has been ruled out because of the head knock last week that he got from Dell He had a cracking game last week, Nathan Cleary, but he will be out. And then for the Melbourne Storm, just found out Ryan Papenhuyzen has just been ruled out also. So this is going to be some sort of match still at Penrith on a Friday night. The Panthers, they're humming along nicely. I don't think no points have been scored against them. We know how good they are with their attack, but their defence is a key at the moment. Looking forward to this game. The Melbourne Storm forwards, they gave it everything last week against the Parramatta Eels. But Parramatta Eels, they just stuck it to them, and that man, Micah Sevo, came up with the goods at the end. So for mine, this is an each-way bet. The Panthers, they're the outsiders at $1.88. Melbourne Storm at $1.82. For me, because Papenhuyzen's out, I'm going to lean towards the Panthers. If Papenhuyzen was playing, I'd be leaning towards Melbourne Storm. But for me, Panthers, even without Nathan Cleary, because Jerome Luai is playing some good football, I'm just taking the Panthers just to win. That's what I'm saying. Panthers, to get the win over the Storm. Hi guys, Wendell Sailor here from PNGBet.com. Well, last week was a very good week for tipping, for me of course. 6 from 8. The Dragons went to Townsville. No Talmalolo. That certainly helped the Dragons' cause. The Dragons got the job done there on the back of Corey Norman after his suspension. He came back, slotted the field goal. But look, Manly. I just feel for Manly at the moment. Whatever they do, they just can't catch a break. They played South Sydney, and they just can't get it going at the moment. Unfortunately for them, they just don't know how to close games out. Those conditions last week, torrential rain, I think that helped Manly out, but South were way too good. They really need Tommy Turbo back ASAP. Anyway, for me, the Dragons at Wollongong, that's one of Dragons' 3 home grounds. But the Dragons usually play well down there at Wynn Stadium. The fans are going to be looking forward to this one. The Dragons are $1.76, Manly $1.94. Geez, I know Manly are due, but I just can't go past the Dragons at the moment, even though I know they're a bit hot and cold. As soon as they win one, you can bet your bottom dollar the next week. They just don't aim up that well. They sit there and they pat themselves on the back, like a few of us have done over the years. So for me, I'm going to take the Dragons, giving away the 2.5 start for $2. I think that's money for jam. So get on that. For Manly, geez, you're going to have to be strong through the forwards there. Forwards at the moment just aren't doing the job, laying that platform for the backs. And DCE, he's their money man. At the moment, he's not cashing in. So for mine, Dragons at the line, as I said, and that should get you a nice little win-win. Well, we talk about entertaining games. How good is this? The Rabbitohs versus the Roosters. We know last year, just before the finals, the Rabbitohs put 60 points on the Roosters. I think 68 or something, 68. That was unbelievable to see that. And then obviously in the finals again, both teams dipped out. But for mine, 2 of the best players in the game going head-to-head here. Tedesco. Teddy's putting on another clinic last week against the West Tigers, but also Latrell Mitchell. He was the key to them getting home against Manly, even though he got sent off for 10 minutes. He's just got himself in the game. He's got himself fit, and you can see he's very strong-minded these days. Josh Mansour comes back into the side. He got dropped after the first round against Melbourne Storm, and he'll be up against a classic winger, probably one of the greatest wingers in the game, Brett Morris. He's back-to-back hat-tricks, so if you're looking for a first try scorer, Brett Morris is your man. But Brett Morris is playing some really good football, but on the back of some really good forward work from the Roosters, their young forwards are laying that platform. Lindsay Collins, Young Lussick at number 9. They've got so many injuries at the moment, the Roosters, but it's a culture and it's a depth within their club. Whoever comes in, it's next man up. That's the way they say it, and that's the way they do it. But there's a great return here. One of the hard blokes in the game, Victor Radley. I love the way that he plays. He leaves nothing in the tank. Obviously, he did his ACL last year, so this will be great to have him back after his suspension as well. Big Victor going up against the likes of Cam Murray and Jaden Sewer. So, we have a look at the prices here. Oh, the Bunnies are priced $2.13, which I think is fair, and the Roosters $1.63. My money at the moment, I'll be looking at the Roosters, the way they're attacking at the moment. The Roosters giving away 4 start for $1.97. That's right. Just because the Roosters, their defence is so good, and I like the Bunnies, but at the moment, the Bunnies just, I don't think they've got into a rhythm for 80 minutes. And that way, and against the Roosters, you can pick them to pieces through the middle and out wide. So I'm going the Roosters all day here. Some really good form by the Roosters, and they're just such a strong-willed team. So whoever they put up, good luck to them. But the Bunnies, this is their chance to get a bit of respect in the competition. And you know what? There's nothing like a derby to get you going. Hey guys, Wendell Sailor here. What a cracking 3 o'clock game we got for you on Saturday. It's the mighty Raiders against the Warriors. The Warriors have been much improved this year under Nathan Brown. They just seem to have a really good balance through their 17. Unfortunately for them, they've got a couple of injuries this week, so Sean O'Sullivan comes into halfback. But at the back there, RTS leads the way, and their forward pack's doing a really good job on the back of Adam Fanua-Blake. For me, the Raiders at home, you can't go past the Raiders at home. They got to a 12-0 lead against the Sharks. The Sharks found a way back, and they nearly got them. And unfortunately for the Sharkies, they come up short. The Raiders got away with it, 14-12. But the Raiders should be very happy. They welcome back one of their unsung heroes, Jared Croker. Mate, this bloke here, I just can't believe he hasn't played representative football. He just keeps on keeping on. So he'll come back from injury now. And I can't go past the Raiders for this game. Raiders, $1.26. I think that's way too short because the Warriors have found what they can do now. They can go through the middle, they can go out wide, but also they're really aggressive in defence, which I think you've got to put that down to Nathan Brown and his coaching style. So for me, looking at the Raiders at $1.25, I'd be going the Warriors at the line, taking 8.5 start. Take the Warriors 8.5 start. I think it'll get you some money because they're actually paying $3.47 off the bat. That's a big price for the Warriors. They're so improved. Obviously, they're going to play most of their games in Australia this year, but I think there's a mentality there that they're happy to go away to a ground like Joyo Stadium and try and get the points. And after last week, I think the Raiders will be a little bit sore. So some wonderful players on the show. Josh Hodgson showed last week why he's so good in around that hooker. Big Papa, I love Big Papa, going up against Fanua-Blake. How can you not love that? And the 2 halfbacks there, George Williams and Sean O'Sullivan. Should be a cracking game. Mate, you got to love it. Saturday afternoon football, and I can't wait to call this game with Triple M. Hey guys, Wendell Sailor here, and Broncos are playing the Bulldogs. I hate to say it, but these two teams could be down the bottom of the ladder. I'm not saying it's wooden spoon yet, because I wouldn't be that rude, but at the moment, they both haven't had a win. They both tried hard, but they haven't played for 80 minutes. So for mine, the Broncos, they allowed 3 tries in 10 minutes just before half time. That's a mentally soft side. Kevin Walters needs to get them back to being the Broncos of old, when you know who played for them. But also the Bulldogs here. The Bulldogs are showing a lot, but they're just coming up short in the last 20 minutes. And that's when a lot of teams start to run a few tries in there. We saw last week in the wet, they tried in their defence. They kept turning up, but they kept making too many mistakes. And this is why both these sides are at the bottom of the table. It's because they keep making too many errors and they're not executing. So for mine, Brody Croft needs to have a big game here, but Anthony Milford, they need to get their team around the park, but also the Bronco forwards have got to demand a bit of respect. So there's a big chance here for the Broncos. If I look at this Canterbury side, this Canterbury forward pack, it's an okay forward pack, but this Bronco side should dominate this. Their threats for me at the Bulldogs are going to come from the back there. Corey Allen and Nick Kotrick, William Hopewadi, they're the guys who I sort of fear for the Broncos. But for me, Suncorp Stadium, I can't go past the Broncos. I'm just taking them straight here. $1.60 on the Broncos to win. If not, Kevin Walters will be very nervous. $1.60, get on the Broncos. Trust me. Well, what a Saturday night game this will be. Bankwest Stadium, 7:30, the Eels versus the Sharks. Yes, and we all know the Sharks would love to take the Eels down at their home ground. But at Bankwest, they're way too good. I saw last week what they did against the Melbourne Storm. Usually, the Eels go away from what works for them. They get a little bit nervous against a side like the Melbourne Storm or Penrith Panthers, but they stayed in the grind. And that's what got them home at the end. And that man there, Mike Acevo, 2 tries, 2 hard tries in those wet conditions. I was at the game for Triple M. I couldn't believe the first one. I was going, what a freak. And then after he did the match-winning one with a couple of minutes to go, only class players can do that sort of stuff. So well done to the Parramatta Eels last week, and the Sharks too. The Sharks hung in deep against Canberra Raiders last week in the wet. So it should be a dry game for both these teams. The forward packs, they'll be ripping into each other. Regan Campbell-Gillard has started the season really well, going up against someone like Aaron Woods and Braden Ueli. Mate, they're really good players, but even the back row, you have a look at Wade Graham up against Nathan Brown. Those blokes still leave nothing in the tank. They know one way, and that's aggressive and hard. But I'm looking forward to Mitch Moses coming up against Chad Townsend. Chad Townsend missed a couple of goals last week, which invariably cost the Sharks the 2 points, so he'll be a bit filthy. And look at some of those outside backs. Sevo, Blake Ferguson, Mulatalo, the young guns, and Katoa. Anyway, this one for me, Parramatta Eels at the line. I think Parramatta Eels, Bankwest Stadium, give the 8.5 start because they've got a lot of points in them. And also Reid Marnie there at hooker. I think he's taken his game to a new level. He's such a smart player, and the new rules suit him really well. His kicking game, his defence has really been good. At the moment, Parramatta are so desperate they're saving tries. I think Sharks are going to have a tough night there at Bankwest Stadium. So for me, get on the slippery eel. Hey guys, Wendell Sailor here. I can't wait for this game, the Knights versus the Tigers. Sunday afternoon, I'll be doing this game for Triple M, and I can't wait. The Knights, they've started the season quite well. Tyson Frizell has been a revelation there. I thought, why are they buying someone like Tyson Frizell when they've got so many good back rows up there? Well, he brings a different energy to the team. He brings that experience. And also, I think for him, he needed that change because the Dragons, they were taking a lot out of him, but he's running direct there. He's tackling hard, and he doesn't have to do as much as he did at the Dragons. The West Tigers, on the other hand, geez. You know, a good mate of mine, Lottie Dakiri, told me that he thinks the Tigers will get the wooden spoon. Well, after what I've seen in the last couple of weeks, they just can't get it going. Joey Leilua, one of their biggest names and biggest, I suppose, pay packets, he's been dropped to reserve grade, which you have to. But I tell you what, Luke Brooks, on the other hand, too, he's got to come under some fire, too. He's supposed to get him around the field. At the moment, I know he can't get him around the field because their forwards are getting dusted up. But this is going to be a tough match for the Newcastle, against Newcastle Knights because out of everything that's going on, Bradman Best, who's playing some good football, Mitchell Pearce, I remember when Dave Boone, he was a 17-year-old, he's playing his 300th game. That's a wonderful milestone for a young man. So well done to Mitchell Pearce. And I've got no doubt on the back of Saifidi brothers, they can get the job done here. So the price there is Newcastle Knights, $1.32. That's money for Jim if you want that. But for mine, mate, I'd be going Newcastle Knights minus the 10. So go at the line, give the 10 away, because the West Tigers defence has been very, very woeful this year. And I reckon you'll cash in there because the Knights fans will be out and they love playing for milestones, Newcastle Knights. And Mitchell Pearce, well done 300, son. Killing it. Hi guys, Wendell Sailor here, and what a way to round off round 3. Another derby, the Queensland derby, Cowboys versus the Titans. Well, the Cowboys for me have been disappointing. They were in that game last week. I know there's no Tal Malala, but they were in that game. Whenever they scored a try and they had the momentum, they found some way to stuff it up and give the Dragons the opportunity. That's been the story of, I suppose, their first couple of rounds. They found it hard to score tries the first week against the Panthers. There was no joy there. But it's going to come off the back of someone like Michael Morgan to take them direct. They have to be direct. Their forwards are getting dusted up and they're missing way too many tackles. For mine, Valentine Holmes, I know, is on the wing. They might have to look to put him back to fullback because the more he gets involved, the more strike power they have got, the Cowboys. At least they're playing at home. That'll give him something. Toddy Payton, he's not under the pump, but you can see he's a little bit stressed at the moment. The Titans. The Titans are the team that I can't wait to watch all year. We saw what that man David Fafita can do. When he gets on the edge, he gets on one or two players. He's like a man-child. Mate, you can't stop him. And he's a kid out there having fun. He played some really good football last week. And Big Tino He was great too. So it combined really well on the back of guys like Fogarty and Brimson. So for me, I can't go past the Titans. The Titans, they were disappointing the first round when they played the Warriors. So they're paying $1.43. The Cowboys $2.62 at home, which is a good price. So if you love your Cowboys, take the $2.62 because they've got to bounce back at some stage. But for me, I'm going to take the Titans minus the 5 for $1.70. Yeah, that's right. Minus that 5 because I just think that the Titans got way too many points in them and there's a real confidence about what they're doing, especially after last week against the Broncos. I know it was only against the Broncos, but let me tell you, when you start winning a game like that and you've got a new group of players, it gives you confidence. So, well done to the Titans last week. Let's see how they go in North Queensland. Right on, Cowboy. Wendell Sailor, we've upped our max payout. So why don't you try our multis, have as many legs as you want and cash in. It can be 5, 10, as much as you want. There's no limits. Cash in, guys.